This is General Counsel Studio, and I'm your host, Andrew Zezas. I'm joined today by Mr. Cole Silver, trusted legal and business advisor to corporate executives. Mr. Silver's background includes having been a strategic legal advisor, deal maker, and business partner to executives and entrepreneurs, and having been known for providing trusted legal and business advice that increases revenues while reducing costs and organizational risks in competitive and regulated markets. During his 30-year career, Cole has served as general counsel to several high-performance companies and has counseled CEOs and boards of directors with distinction and proactive business advice. Cole has also managed diverse teams with P&L responsibilities, has negotiated and closed profitable business transactions in excess of $1 billion, has led federal and state regulatory examination to a successful conclusion, and has resolved multi-million-dollar litigation matters. Cole began his career as a trial lawyer, and as an expert problem solver, Cole is known as a statesman and a trusted advisor. Cole is here today to talk to us about demonstrating the true value of an effective general counsel. Cole, it's so great to have you here on General Counsel Studio. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Andy.
So, Cole, the role of general counsel has evolved, and it's evolved in a lot of different directions over the last few decades. Tell me how, and share with me why it's important that CEO, every CEO, in fact, needs a great general counsel.
Okay, well, I think from the very beginning, the fact of the matter is that in today's litigious society and with all the rules and regulations out there, every business decision has a legal component.
I'd agree with that, sure.
So effectively, you need someone at the table who can provide insight into guiding the corporation to do the right thing, whether it's ethically, legally, morally, reputationally, address all risks.
Sure.
So because of the complex nature of society and the explosion of law and the explosion of litigation, every corporation needs a general counsel today. So how has it changed over the last few years, Andy? In my opinion, when I first started as corporate counsel, the corporate counsel was seen as someone who basically did contracts or managed, litigation, managed outside counsel by looking at bills.
Sure. Kept the company out of lawsuits.
Exactly.
Right.
And worked very heavily with outside counsel. Today, I think that because of what I've mentioned before and because of the cost, it's much more effective to many companies to bring an expert lawyer inside and to do it at a more reasonable rate. I mean, a really good law firm today, a partner in a law firm, is up at $1,000 an hour.
$1,000 an hour.
$1,000 an hour for very, very expert legal advice. It's getting up there. And I think the last point is that in the old days, the CEO would have the general advisor, his best lawyer, would be a partner at the big firm, right? Mm-hmm. But that partner at the big firm doesn't sit at the table every day, doesn't know what the salespeople are doing, the technology people, the HR people. And I think that the CEO has come around to the position that having my man here, watching my back, he's my real advisor.
Sure. Having general counsel who's integrated into the company is basically what you're saying.
That's right. He's the guy that's really watching my back, because ultimately you go to an outside counsel when the matter is already blown up. Right? If you have someone at the table and inside, hopefully he's being proactive.
And keeping it from blowing up.
Keeping it from blowing up, exactly.
Excellent point. So then let's talk, staying on the idea of general counsels, talk to me about what you perceive to be as the single most valuable service that a general counsel can provide to executives, management, the board, whomever.
I think the single most important thing a general counsel can provide is being proactive. Because otherwise, why do you need a general counsel? So when the general counsel is sitting at the table with the CTO, the CFO, they're talking about strategy, they're talking about rolling out a new product, whatever it is, you're thinking about what are the risks, how can I address my client's needs, how can we do it ethically, how do we address all the myriad of state, local, international, cross-border issues. So you've got to look at every issue proactively and then address it with the applicable people before the product is launched, before the strategy is executed. Being proactive is really the key.
All right, so if proactivity is the single most important service, what would you say are the most important attributes of a general counsel? Give me three.
Okay, three. I would say the first thing is to be an effective lawyer. When I say effective, Andy, I mean, look, there are a lot of smart lawyers out there, right? They can do, documents with, 50 pages of legalese.
Right.
Is that being effective?
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Right.
So being effective is knowing what your client's needs are. The second one, I think, would be being really trusted advisor. You need to be a sounding board for the CEO so that he makes the right decisions within the right framework, as well as all other people at the table. So not only knowing what your client needs are, but then addressing those needs.
Okay.
And I would think the third attribute of a really good general counsel is being a really smart businessman.
I would agree.
Okay? You can't just be a lawyer. You have to know that some risk you have to take.
Right.
You have to know how to read a financial statement. You have to know the difference between source code and object code. You have to be broad-based. You cannot just be a lawyer.
Okay, so 3 very good points. Now, in the context of being integrated, what are the most effective steps that a general counsel can take to promote profitability, growth, sustainability?
Okay, well, you have to know what the company's doing, how they make money, how they make their gross margins, right? But I'll give you an example. If you know that sales is, and it is, the most driving force in any organization, how do you make sales' job more easy? Do you create a contract database so that when they're out in the field, they can just whip out a contract? Do you make the contract less legalese? Do you
More easily palatable for customers, right?
Exactly. Do you actually go meet with customers?
As a general counsel?
Yeah, why not?
Wow.
Right? You
Why
go
not?
out there. If you're not helping drive sales and thereby driving revenue, you're not driving profitability.
I don't know that I've heard that part about a general counsel participating that actively in the sales rules before, and that's very dynamic and it's very cutting edge. And it actually ties very well to what you said at the beginning of this discussion. You have to be integrated.
But think about it this way. I look at my job as an inside general counsel as almost being an outside lawyer, but my office is inside.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't escape my client.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm in the courtroom, I'll call him back later. Right. But really what it is it's all about taking care of the client. And if that means going out on a business trip and closing a sales deal,
why not?
Or it means sitting with your technology folks and deciding what's the best new system to employ, that's what you do. You take care of the client. The only difference is you live with the client.
And you are the client.
You are the client.
And you are the client.
Right.
In terms of an integration, you can't get more integrated than that.
You can't.
Cole, we're talking about attributes of general counsel. So how do legal executives or general counsels, CLOs, differ from non-legal executives in whatever way you think is appropriate?
You're an executive. You know a lot of CFOs. I think when I sit at the table with CFOs, CTOs, everybody that's with the CEO, the way that I think people look at me is they'll say, make sure that what decisions we make, what we're thinking about doing, it's done with integrity and proper risk management. Ultimately, that's it, right? Because otherwise, why do you need a lawyer there? You need a lawyer to keep you out of trouble. And I'm the only one that comes to that table with the breadth of experience in all the legalities. And trust me, I don't know all the legalities, but I know where to get the answer.
Right.
So if something doesn't smell right, I say, whoa, before we do this, I need to check with someone. I need to do some research.
Understood.
So you've got to be the last word as to making sure the company's doing what's right.
And that's pertaining to any area of concentration, whether it be IT, HR, sales, finance.
All of it.
All of it.
Especially the finance, like Sarbanes-Oxley and all of that stuff. The rules, let's just talk about Sarbanes or rules. Dodd-Frank, which is a new rule as a result of the economic crisis.
Sure. That
rule is now, or the regulations are 2,000 pages long, and they're 2,000 pages. No, I have not read them. I'm waiting for the footnotes.
So you do have a life, is what you're telling me.
But they're not done yet.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what this presidential election is about in a certain way too, right? Regulations.
Sure.
And the burden on business.
Sure. So the integration between general counsel and chief financial officer is as important as any other connection, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about conventional wisdom. Okay, conventional wisdom is that every business needs a lawyer, but the conventional wisdom is that they need a lawyer to get them out of trouble.
Right.
So it's a reactive view of general counsel. Is that really all it's about?
No, not at all. As I said before, it's being proactive. But you know what? I've always tried to guide myself and to offer myself as an alternative voice at the table.
Alternative to?
To whatever's going on. And to not say, okay, well, you know, I'm the lawyer. I'm just supposed to give this kind of decision.
Yeah,
or this kind of analysis.
I'll wait till somebody asks my opinion.
Absolutely. If you're a lawyer in a company, you give your personal opinions, your personal observations. You step out of the lawyer box and you be yourself.
On a proactive basis.
On a proactive basis, because the fact of the matter is we all come to the table with different attributes, right? And a lot of people see lawyers as just totally risk adverse. But I think when you've practiced law as much as I have, you come to realize that there is nothing that's risk-free. You just have to measure it and then accept it.
Right. Interesting point. Cole, regarding the best qualities and attributes of a great general counsel, what have we missed?
I think the only thing that I would add, Andy, is that when you're dealing with people in a company, remember, you're just dealing with people. And everybody has their own egos, their set of, you know, what's in it for me, and as well as their own insecurities. So I think a really good general counsel needs to recognize and be able to judge people, well, not so much judge them, but to work with them and their personalities, to exercise empathy, even a little compassion and understanding, and not be a hard-assed, you know, just ego-driven kind of attorney. So you have to work with people. You have to satisfy their needs.
These are words of wisdom, Cole, where we're hearing from a general counsel who's saying it's not just about the law, it's about being proactive. It's about focusing on profitability and sustainability and growth and people.
And people. It's all about people.
Boy, I know who we're going to call when we have an issue, and when we have an issue that we're looking forward to as well. We need a proactive general counsel. This has been great. I truly appreciate your insight today. I thank you for sharing your ideas with us on General Counsel Studio. I hope you'll come back and see us again.
I will. Thank you.
This has been great. This is Andrew Zezas, your host at General Counsel Studio with Cole Silver, saying thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again.